The Bucks with the 115-111 victory over the Brooklyn Nets.
And a sweep. Boston, 4 in a row.
The Phoenix Suns season is over. The Denver Nuggets are moving on to the conference finals for the second time in 4 years.
So what about this year, KD? Oh, it happened again. And the worst part, it's not over. Remember when Durant first got traded to the Suns?
My computer in the middle of the night and said, the Phoenix Suns just won the championship.
The Suns are the favorites, I think.
I think Phoenix this morning, argument, best team in the West.
In the beginning of this season, Devin Booker said,
I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us.
There were two players in my mind with the most to lose these playoffs, Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant. Because for KD specifically, he's got what he's wanted. He got a winning culture on the Suns, he got the star teammates, and they were healthy. But he didn't get the result. This is what I said exactly 3 months ago. And why he'll always be unhappy with whatever team he has unless he changes this one thing. And the crazy part is, he could change it right now. Well, he hasn't changed it. And his choices are coming back to bite him because Durant is running out of time. Just recently, Durant questioned why he wasn't in the GOAT convo, saying, why shouldn't I be in the conversation? What haven't I done? Kevin Durant started his career winning 4 scoring titles in his first 6 seasons. He was on path to be potentially the greatest of all time. But after becoming the villain by joining the Warriors, what he's done in the past 5 years has only hurt his legacy. I have never seen a player that talented fail repeatedly like this. The situation has changed, but like I said, he still has one choice remaining after all the failure, all the drama, and if he takes it, there's a chance of redemption. So I think it's time to look at the 3 pieces on why Durant has failed, will continue to fail, and how he could fix it. Because otherwise, we are seeing the slow downfall of one of the greatest players in history right in front of our very eyes. What is up, dudes, that's ballers players? It's your boy MJ. What is a basketball player motivated by? Is it money? Is it championships? Is it respect? Each player has a different story. So let's get specific. What is Kevin Durant motivated by? Is he just a pure hooper who can't get a grooming routine, or is there something more? Let's go back over 10 years ago on April 23rd, 2013, when Kevin Durant said,
I've been second my whole life. I was the second best player in high school, second pick in the draft, second in the MVP voting 3 times. I came in second in the finals. I'm tired of being second. I'm not going to settle for that. I'm done with it.
This came after losing to LeBron in the 2012 finals, being second in MVP voting to LeBron, but that feeling continued. Feeling second to Westbrook since he was actually taking more shots than KD, going to the Warriors, and eventually feeling second to Steph Curry in the organization, and that's piece number 1. Kevin Durant has a need to be number 1, but he went about it pretty differently. See, other NBA stars also have this need to prove they are number 1. Look at Anthony Edwards, who before this series against the Suns said,
Book been the best 2 guard in the league for a minute, so yeah, this is the series, the matchup that I wanted to showcase to the world that I'm the best player and the best 2 guard in the world.
And he showed it.
Yes, sir.
Kobe without Shaq, Tracy McGrady out of Vince Carter's shadow, Hakeem roasting David Robinson for winning MVP. Players throughout history have wanted to be number 1, but none have done what Kevin Durant did. The Nets were his place to be the clear number 1 option, to build a team like LeBron did. He got his friends Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan, wanted Steve Nash as his coach. The Nets even traded for another one of KD's friends, James Harden. Durant pretty much had his own franchise. KD was trying to prove these comments wrong.
All these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you a champion.
And how did that go? Well, pretty ass.
What the hell? No freaking way.
I'll try recapping it in 15 seconds. Best offensive trio in NBA history. Big feet, Nets big 3, only playing 16 games in a season and a half, hugs, incense, getting swept in the first round. Every decision that Durant made backfired, but instead of taking accountability, he went and blamed his teammates, his organization, the coach, and it was something that his teammates noticed. KD's legacy in Brooklyn can be best described by Goran Dragic. Now let me make one thing crystal clear. Goran Dragic played all of 16 games in Brooklyn. But that was enough time for even Dragic to come out publicly questioning Kevin Durant and his lack of leadership on the Nets, and said KD was one of the guys on the team that cared only about stats. Goran Dragic really had enough with the BS. So when KD was done with the BS, done with the state of the Nets that he was partially responsible for, he demanded a trade 1 year after signing a 4-year contract. And the teams on his list, the Heat or Suns, 2 teams where he would still be the clear number 1, but also now with established cultures. 2 teams that had just recently been to the NBA Finals. But maybe bro didn't realize that getting traded to a team typically means decimating their assets? So when he got traded to the Suns, they were not the same team that just made the finals. But that didn't stop the entire NBA world from collectively losing their minds. Like so many, they all fell in the trap that we see every year from Kevin Durant. We're gonna get to how this led to the failure that is these playoffs, but Durant didn't want to deal with the consequences that other players, other stars have had to do. So you might think that mindset for KD would be over with, right? Wrong, because after losing to the Denver Nuggets, after giving up 81 points in a half, after horrible performances, the Suns went, the problem isn't figuring out how to run this offense better or improving our defense. No, the problem is just Chris Paul. So they said, let's get Bradley Beal, who has only played 58% of his games in the past 3 years. And during this past season, Kevin Durant was unhappy. Unhappy with the apparent depth of the team, unhappy with Bradley Beal's availability, but again, KD wanted Beal. Adding any new player requires reps to get to that chemistry, usually coming in season 2. But because Durant doesn't have time, it's a speed run. And that leads to an issue that isn't talked about enough. And piece number 2, Durant's play style isn't actually leading to wins.
When MJ was with the Bulls, we had a playoff game, and he kept trying to score. And he was scoring, but we weren't getting anything going. Phil Jackson said, "Who's open?" I said, "John Paxson." I want you to trust your teammates early. What you're doing is you're getting to the rim, and then you're trying to hit them. I want you to trust the first guy, and then move.
Yeah, that is Steve Kerr trying to get Kevin Durant to move the ball in the playoffs on the Warriors, who have the 2 best shooters and perhaps off-ball movers in NBA history. No doubt, Durant is one of the best scorers in NBA history, but that isn't enough to win. Here are all the scoring champions in NBA history, and here are all the ones that won a championship in the same year. Only 5 players since 1947 have managed to win the scoring title and NBA championship in the same year, including Michael Jordan 6 times, but only 11 times in over 75 years should tell you that scoring isn't the end all. And I'm always trying to give you all the real deal, the content that actually makes a difference. So subscribe if you're into that. Trying to make a push to 1 mil. And in the playoffs, Durant is very much a threat. He's what most offenses are designed around. Since leaving the Warriors, Durant has only scored less than 20 points twice in the playoffs in 30 games. His consistency in getting his has not faltered, but the wins have. Scoring is important, but it's knowing how to balance scoring and getting your teammates involved that leads to winning basketball. And his teams recently have been designed for Kevin Durant and his running mate to carry a heavy load. The first round sweep loss against the 2022 Celtics was because there was quite literally no offense besides KD and Kyrie. No ability to get players involved besides catching and shooting. The 2023 Suns fell in the same boat. They were the favorites to win the the NBA title last year with a plus 400 odds, and had Devin Booker putting together a couple of games against Denver, shooting nearly 80% from the floor and scoring in the high 40s, but they were unable to get teammates involved, which in turn leads to less overall effort on defense, less flow, all the little things that need to happen to win a championship. And this year, the Suns are doing it again. Adding Bradley Beal did not solve their problems defensively. It did not solve their problems with a free-flowing offense. Heck, they scored under 100 points a couple times against the Timberwolves. Throwing more offense at the problem is not the answer. It's never been the answer as much as KD believes it is, because all this goes way back before he was ever on the Warriors on May 26, 2016. The Thunder are up 3-1 with a chance to close it out. In Game 5, KD shot 12 of 31 from the field. In Game 6, he shot 10 of 31? The game plan was for KD and Westbrook to carry, to create all the opportunities, counting on making difficult shots throughout the entire game. And come fourth quarter, both would be gassed, taking and missing several bad shots. Sure, for KD, these might not be the worst, but relying on that is what was their demise. That and choking.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And the pattern has continued. So where do we go from here? What does Kevin Durant do now? The Suns are frustrated because they threw their entire future for Kevin Durant. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, 4 first-round picks, and it only gets worse. To get Beal, they trade CP3, Shamet, 4 first-round pick swaps, and 6 second-round picks. The Suns don't have any more assets to make moves. And to make matters worse, the Suns cannot do anything this offseason. They have $150 million committed to just Durant, Booker, and Beal. That alone is more than the total payroll of 14 other teams. Bradley Beal also has a no-trade clause, which leaves the Suns with nothing. But the solution is staring at KD right in the face. Piece number 3. But we need to go back to 2011 to see it. The Heat brought together the most insane, villainous big three together. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, close to their primes. They were supposed to run through the league. How many rings are you gonna win, LeBron?
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
They dominated until the NBA Finals, where it all fell apart. LeBron couldn't get past JJ Barea.
Close to being a third foul.
But instead of blowing it up, instead of trying to add another star, the players and coach looked at themselves and tried to figure out how to improve. Eric Spoelstra went to Oregon College head coach Chip Kelly and learned an entirely new offense that included a revolutionary idea, running Chris Bosh at the 5. It was the spread offense, something a little new to the NBA, and Bosh worked on threes the entire summer to add to his arsenal to space the floor. LeBron and Wade figured out ball handling responsibilities and went on to win 2 straight championships. The moral of the story? Teams need time to gel, and Kevin Durant hasn't let that happen. On the Nets, Durant was hurt during the 2019-2020 season, got Harden midway through 2020-21, Harden left in 21-22, Durant demanded a trade and got shipped to the Suns midway of the 22-23 season after seeing Ben Simmons not shoot.
What the hell was that?
And on the Suns, KD played 8 games due to injury in his first season, then after the playoffs, pushed for Beal, another big team change. In fact, out of a potential 211 regular season games that could have been played with all of KD's big threes together in the past 4 years, only 51 games were played. Booker, KD, and Beal only played 41 games. KD and Booker have only played 69 games. That isn't enough to conclude anything about where the team should be. The team isn't perfect, but that doesn't mean that this team can't improve. Sure, retool a few role players to get a bit more size, but at the end of the day, stick with your core. Get more reps in. Only if the players give up will this team be done. And the problem for the past 4 years has been that KD has given up on his team without even 2 full seasons in place. Durant is 35. The average age of retirement of stars is 34. I understand the need to do it quickly, but it's not about taking accountability anymore. It's about giving yourself the best chance to win. We live in a world today filled with immediate gratification, with everything at our fingertips, but that approach doesn't work for basketball. Cut the noise and go on. Otherwise, like I said, we're seeing the downfall of one of the greatest players of all time, and it's just sad. The all-day notification watch shout goes to Big Wiggy. Thanks for the all-day support. And if you want to know who's actually MVP, there's a video right here. And if you're still here, you a real one to comment how, so I know. It's your boy MJ. We out and we vibe.